Good evening, Hope Dealers. It is so good to see you. For anyone I have not yet met, my name is Dina Kretzer. I am an independent consultant and national vice president with Arbonne, and have the privilege of being the MVP for the Hope Dealers family. And I just treasure that. You all are wonderful. And those of you that I have not yet met, I so look forward to meeting you and getting to know you and encouraging you and supporting you on this awesome journey. So for those of you who are newer, what we used to do is have weekly calls at 8 or 8:30. I don't know if some of you here remember that. And we don't do that anymore because we have several other things that we want everyone to plug into, and we just can't have you listening to calls, like every single day. So we have the Skills Sunday calls that I always post on Monday, except they're taking a break from that for the summer. But if you don't know where the Skills Sunday library is, ask your RVP, because you can just choose one, make your own schedule and watch those. We have the live Discover Arbonne every Thursday night, so we want you to be able to plug into that. So we just do our one call on this first Wednesday of the month, and I feel like I'm always flying to try to get it in just 30 minutes. And I thought, it is just one call a month. I'm not going to stress if it goes over 5 or 10 minutes max, because I know you're not going to want Elizabeth, brand new district manager, or Courtney, brand new area manager, to rush at all when I do a little interview with them here a little bit later. So I'm going to start in with my part here. How excited are we about the gifts Arbonne has given us this month? I'm sure you've all read everything, the free gift at $150 that the new preferred clients get. That is an awesome reason to go back to anyone who didn't get around to ordering last month, and obviously a great thing to offer every single new person that we come across this month. The biggest is the promotion to district manager with $3,500 all in August. I absolutely love this. If you take the district manager as $7,500 over 3 months and divide 7,500 in half, that is $3,750. And Arbonne's making this $3,500. Or if you say the promotion is $6,000 over 2 months, divide that in half, it's $3,000. So that $3,500 is right in the middle of those. It is basically 50% off. And I don't know if you're like me, any other shoppers out there that love to have really nice, expensive things, but like to find them on sale. That is me. And I love finding a promotion on sale. So every one of you who is not yet a district, I encourage you to go for this with everything in you. And for those of us who are districts and above, we need to be looking for who we can help do this in this one special month. So I'm going to do a little training on goal setting. I need to pull up my chat because I want you to type in the chat your answer to what is the main reason for setting a goal, or just unmute and you can say it out loud. Pop quiz, no pressure. All right. Being accountable is a great reason for setting a goal. Fran, thank you. Anyone else? All right. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. A focus. Connolly, that is a very, very good one. Both of those are excellent reasons for setting a goal, and to create a realistic objective toward a dream or vision. Elizabeth, that is awesome. All three of those are reasons why to set goals for sure. But I'm going to give you one underlying reason that goes even deeper than that. And please know, when I do any kind of training like this, I did not come to the starting line at Arbonne knowing anything about goal setting. There was nothing in any job I'd ever done that required me in any way to set a goal. Even our going self-employed in 2000 in our background screening firm, there was no goal setting. This work just came in. I made the calls, I typed up the reports, and if there was any goal setting at all, it was just to get through each day without losing my mind over how boring and unfulfilling all this work was. And Courtney, I love that one too. It gives a purpose to keep moving forward, and you know all about moving forward. But the underlying purpose is the main reason for setting a goal is what it makes of you. Because what it makes of you in the process ends up being a far greater value than the goal itself, no matter how huge that goal was. And it is the only way that you will tap into your potential. And for those of you who are taking notes, which I love to see, it's not just a good way to tap into your potential. It really is the only way. And without that goal setting, you'll just have the month you'll have. What will happen will happen. You won't achieve a goal you never set. But Courtney's going to talk about just in a little bit, the difference it made in her to have a goal like this. And I know we all have stories of when we've set a goal, but really think about it's who you become in the process. It's so awesome. I've heard a lot of people say over the years, because last month was 17 years since I started my business. So in 17 years, I have heard it all. And I have heard lots of people say, I don't want to set goals. I don't want to worry about promotions and bonuses and all that, because I don't want to put that kind of pressure on myself. I'm just going to let it happen. What's our favorite word? Amber can probably guess what I'm going to say. So can organically.
Organically.
Let it happen organically. And we want to go, you're not a carrot, but it would be, and while I do get organic moments from time to time, and I love those when they surprise me and happen, but organic is not a business plan for promoting through the levels in Arbonne. It's not a business plan for helping a lot of people in Arbonne. It would be like my going out and plowing a great space for a garden and bringing in all the right soil and the fertilizer, and then sitting on my back porch and watching and just being surprised that weeds are growing up and not all my favorite vegetables, because I never went out there and planted seeds. You have to be intentional about planting the seeds, intentional about your goals. And you've probably heard it said before that to be a real goal, it must be in writing, that a goal that's not written down is just a wish. It's just wow, it would really be nice if this happened. But a goal becomes a goal when it's in writing. And I was taught from the start, some of you already know this, but we can never be reminded enough to set good, great, and awesome goals. And so while these have to be your goals, it's nothing anyone will ever set for you. There is no pressure from anyone in Arbonne. It is all about what you want to do with it. But I'm going to give you an example of a good, great, awesome goal for, let's say you're a brand new consultant or any consultant who is not a district manager. So for this month, where Arbonne has given us this awesome opportunity, what if you made your awesome goal 10,000? And before you freak out and go, I am checking out, I'm going to, tune out everything she says since she started with 10,000. It's promoting to district and going right into qualification for area. But that is you doing your 3,500 and finding 15 others to do the same. No, just seeing if you're listening. Amber was listening. Her head shot up. No, it's you not finding 10 others or 5 others. It's you finding 2 others to do that along with you. You do 3,500, just 2 more do 3,500. That actually goes a tiny bit above the 10,000. It's 10,005. A great goal could be, okay, 7,000. I'm going to do my 3,500 and I'll help one person to also do their 3,500. We'll have 7,000 and we'll both promote to district. That's a great goal. And good, think of good always as this is the least I'm going to accept for myself. What if your good goal was your own 3,500, promote to district manager? And if that is still making anyone watching now or recording check out, I will, take it one step down. What if your awesome goal was the 7,000, you and one more person each doing your 3,500? What if your great goal was the 3,500? I'm going to promote to district. And what if your good goal, the least amount you'd accept from yourself, is the 2,500 being in solid qualification for district? So those are just 2 examples. Which one I think is the best one to have, because I'm going to give a little side note. If you wrote any of that down, you'll see the enormity of what Arbonne is offering here. When you think of the old would you rather game, would you rather do 3,500 in 1 month and reach district manager, or would you rather do 2,500 this month and still do another 3,500 next month to reach district manager. It just makes so much sense. You could be paid as a district starting on September 1st, and your time clock would start on being able to have those 6 months where you can earn the $2,500 bonus, because this is new since just a few months ago, like April, something like that. This is brand new. I would have loved to have had that when I promoted to district. So whatever you've set for your awesome goal, work towards that one. Forget about the great and the good. If you work towards the awesome, fall a little short, you're going to hit that great goal, and that is still really great, or that good goal, which is still really good. But what if you just aimed at the good and you missed that? You've not gotten, any of the places where you wanted to be. So I would take your awesome goal and divide it by the number of weeks. And I'm going to give August 5 weeks because I'm still counting this week, because, oh, Elizabeth, I see a little one. Oh, I'm getting distracted. Forget this is a recording, but she's a doll. Okay. Always work with your awesome goal, because like I said, if you aim there and fall short, then you still are going to accomplish one of the other goals. So divide that by 5 weeks, and now you know your weekly goal, and that will tell you if you already have enough activity booked to make that realistic, or if maybe you need to get busy and book a little more. Now, I say that, do not take the number 10,000 and divide it by 5 weeks and go, I have to do 2,000 a week. You might be able to do that. It's not a sustainable plan. I would say take your 3,500 to maybe 5,000, dividing, because this is what you're going to do. And then you do that work, but then focus on meeting those people or calling people that maybe are still on your chicken list, or maybe you met at a party recently and haven't followed up, who you could be sharing the business with. I don't want anyone going out there trying to do the whole 10,000 themselves. If you do it, wow, but it's done by helping others to do this. An area which is, 10,000 would be area qualification. That takes usually a team of at least 2, usually 3 people. Does that make sense? Okay. Let me see my notes in here. Focusing on having your 3,500 or 5,000 of your own, helping 1 or 2 others is where I was. And then always translate it into how many lives that means that you're going to change. As I watched Courtney's 2 Facebook Lives, there may have been more, but I caught the last 2 in the last week. I never once heard her say, I have a goal. I'm trying to sell $3,500 of products before July 31st. Come on, folks. She never said that at all. What did she say? If you all listen to her, she consistently said, I'm looking to change 10 more lives this month. And, Courtney, I'm always listening to this, anything through the eyes of the person out there who knows very little about it. And that was beautiful. It was attractive. It was appealing. It was genuine. And you were simply looking to change lives. So whether you're saying it out there on a Facebook Live, or it's just what's in your head as you're making calls and setting up activity, just always have that, in your heart, that you are looking to change lives. So the written weekly goal will accomplish 3 important things. And Connolly, some of the others have said this already, and those other reasons. Number 1, it will help you stay on track. If you get behind in that first week, then you know where you are, and you can make plans for more activity in the next week so that you can catch up right away. You won't get then to the last week of the month trying to cram 3 weeks of work into one and being frustrated and thinking Arbonne doesn't work. Have a close day for each week. That is something that I was taught early in Arbonne that has really served me well, so that I don't get to the end of the month in some kind of a dialing for dollars panic. I don't ever want to be like that, because you want to be in the, I'm here to help others. I'm here to change lives. The second reason for the written weekly goal is action conquers fear. It can be exhausting and it can be scary to think about what needs to be done when you set a big goal. And actually doing the work and seeing how others are helped by what you have to offer, it gives you the confidence that people everywhere are looking for our products, our 30 days, and our opportunity. And also the third thing, writing weekly goals and then acting on them really creates a habit of winning. The more that you win, the more you want to get back out there. And the more that you want to share this with others because you are experiencing some wins and success. So a word of advice, share your goals only with people who will be supportive, maybe those who will help you in some way to reach them, but at least those that will be supportive, even if they don't become clients or teammates or hosts right away. They should be people who will encourage you and be happy for you to succeed. I loved seeing Courtney's response of a cousin after her live. How can I help? That it was just wonderful to put that out there in front of somebody who wanted to help. I always warn new consultants, so then some of you are newer tonight, that there are dream stealers out there, that you're saying yes to this business is like holding up a mirror to them, and they look in there and go, oh, I don't have the courage to do what she's doing. And they liked life when you were all snuggled under this blanket in the comfort zone with them, and it makes them very uncomfortable that you're going after creating choices in their life when they won't do it themselves. One of my closest friends was a dream stealer in all caps. She was the first person I shared the business with. And when we talked face to face, I can still see exactly what table and what restaurant we were sitting in, Ukrop's Cafe. She said right there in person that she wanted those same things as I shared my vision. And she was so excited about what was possible, how we could do this together. And then she went out and she asked other people's opinions. And people who were close to her, whose opinions mattered to her, some family members, she came back saying very firmly that not only would she not do this, but I should not do this either. Now, none of her authorities had ever built a successful network marketing business. They knew nothing about Arbonne's culture, Arbonne's history, Arbonne's products, but they said 17 years ago, Richmond was saturated and I should stay out of trying to, find Richmond. I still meet people today who have never heard Arbonne, who are involved in all kinds of things. They also told her it was a pyramid and I needed to stay away from it and she needed to stay away from it. And she continued to call and send emails and messages expressing her passionate opinion about what I was doing because I wasn't listening. I was going on and I was building my business. I'd promoted to district. I had teammates. And, had I let this one small-minded person decide my future, I could do a call for 3 hours on what I would have missed out on in my life. I would have missed knowing every single one of you on this call. I would have missed the personal growth. I would have missed so many experiences. This person was not going to treat me to incentive trips or trips to Maui once I became an MVP. She was not going to find a way or provide a way for Jeff and I to retire from our other businesses. She was also not going to cheer me on and be happy for my success. And if you run across people like that in your path, please don't let them decide your future. And you almost always will run across someone. It's usually someone whose opinion matters a lot. So it's almost like a rite of passage that you're going to encounter your own dream stealers and expect it, recognize it. Sometimes they just mean well and want to protect you. But, and then there are those like my friend who I didn't realize at the time it was because she actually reacted so strongly because she saw me stepping out of my comfort zone and was afraid to step out of hers. A book that you all can probably finish my sentence that I'm going to recommend on this note is The Dream Giver by Bruce Wilkinson. It's about a little character named Ordinary. So it's a parable. It's really easy to read. Ordinary sets out on a journey and he encounters his dream stealers and border bullies and giants and time in the wilderness. I really encourage you to read that one. And then goals need to be, I love this acronym. I'll just do this one really quick. SMART. And so make SMART, S-M-A-R-T, an acronym. They need to be specific, clearly defined, not just I'm going to do more this month than I did the last couple of months. That's not specific, but specifically, what are you doing? Promoting to district manager, having the 3,500, helping one more person, helping two more people, whatever that is. M is measurable so that you know when you reach it. Those are two pretty closely related. A is achievable. The goal is possible because others have done it. And R is realistic. It means the goal is going to be matched with effort and activity. It can't just be, this is my goal, and then sit back. But when you set a goal, just know, what am I realistically willing to do to reach that? And T is timely, giving yourself a deadline. And I'm just going to encourage you, whether you've got a scrap piece of paper around you or just do it after the call, to take a little piece of paper and write the word try on it, and then rip the thing up and throw it in the trash. I love hearing Cecilia say the other day that trying is just a noisy way of not doing something. Have you ever asked somebody to go, like, to come to something, like maybe to one of our Arbonne open houses, and they, I'll try to stop by. I know right then they're not coming. I'll try. Yeah, I'll try to get by. So I love, on the flip side of that, Jim Rohn's comment where he said, his quote, "Do whatever you have to do as quickly as you can so you can do whatever you want to do for as long as you can." Who just said there is no try. I love that. All right, we are going to flip to recognition. Right after recognition, I'm going to we'll do a little interview with Elizabeth, and new district manager, and then Courtney, new area manager. Then I have a little bit of a close. So let me share my screen and let's do recognition. Fran, can you read this for us?
Sure thing. So congratulations to everyone in qualification for district manager. Shout out to Shay Collins, Callie Fetchko, Frankie Brown, Emily Weston, and Maria Knight. Congrats. Shay and Maria are on the call. I love that. Elizabeth, new district manager. Huge shout out. Woo! Congratulations. Enrolled by Courtney Brown. That's the first level. There's only 3 to go. You've done a big, big step right there. So
Awesome.
way to go.
Awesome, Elizabeth.
Woo! And now, drum roll. We are so proud of the newest Hope Dealer area manager, Courtney Brown, enrolled by Amber Fry. Oh, so happy. It was such a dream to meet Courtney and Frankie in Vegas and get to know them better. And I had no doubt she'd be an area manager very quickly.
Awesome. And you have an amazing team, Courtney. I see Elizabeth and Maria on the call tonight, and Emily. I don't know if I've seen Emily on the call, but anyway, what a team that you had working with you. It's so amazing.
Awesome. Awesome. All right. Now shout outs to customer acquisition bonus earners. Elizabeth and Emily, way to go with your new consultant bonus. And to Amber, Courtney, and Dina, who all earned the district manager bonus. And Amber Fry to earning her area manager bonus. Fantastic. And tops and changing lives, way to go, changing 5 lives or more, to Courtney Brown, Emily Weston, and Frankie Brown. And Courtney changed 11 lives and earned the Fizzy 10. So well done, well done. What a month you had. And then shout out to all those who changed at least 1 life or more. Connolly Stewart, Fran Babishak, Maria Knight, Dina Kretzer, Janet Benson, Amber Fry, Rosalie Cherb, Celia Neff, Jane Montez, Jessie Collier, Shay Collins, Elizabeth Griles, I'm not sure, Rachel Camfield, Dottie Brown, Jane Montez, Amy Muir, Beth Hooper, Kate Stone, Sarah Tiamson, and Mariah Alderman. Well done, everybody.
And is that the last screen? No, here we go.
And then top districts go out to Courtney Brown, Amber Fry and Dina Kretzer, and Connolly Stewart. Top areas were Amber Fry, Dina Kretzer, and Connolly Stewart. Fantastic. Now on to tops in sales and perfect brick. Top personal sales went to Amber Fry, Dina Kretzer, and Courtney Brown. The perfect brick, that 2,500 with 5 new preferred clients over 150, goes to Courtney Brown and Emily Weston. Well done. And the 2,500 building block, hitting that 2,500 in your own personal sales, is Courtney Brown, Connolly Stewart, Emily Weston, Amber Fry, Dina Kretzer, and Fran Babishak. Well done, everybody.
Thank you so much for reading that, Fran, and great job, everyone. And now it is our privilege to get to hear from new district manager, Elizabeth Griles. And I'm going to go on, and for this, I'm going to put you on the speaker view here. Wait, Fran. Okay, Elizabeth, are you unmuted?
I am.
Okay, great. I am so excited for you. Why don't you, if you could just share with everyone on the call for a second, how were you introduced to Arbonne, and if you had any initial fears and hesitations about doing this, because most of us did. And I love seeing your little girl, 2 sets of twins, right?
Yes, 2 sets of twins.
Wow.
So the older set just turned 6 last week, and the babies will be 3 in September.
Oh my goodness, adorable.
Yeah. So to dive into that a little bit, Courtney actually she reintroduced me to Arbonne after several years. I had hosted a party when I was completing my master's in 2014 and dabbled in it. That's how I told Courtney. I actually went back and looked at the messages that she first sent me back in November when we reconnected. And, a little part of that is that November through February were some really pivotal months in my family. And she stuck with me. She introduced me. She was talking with me. We were talking about life, a little bit about Arbonne, and I told her, I used to do this years ago. Like, I used to love the products. I just got out of it. And so then she messaged me again in May, and just to seriously follow up, and said, hey, are you open to take a peek at this? And I said, I'd love to take a peek at this, sure. And so that's how I came back into the fold with Arbonne. It's just Courtney sticking with me, Courtney being patient and consistent, and those messages from the months of November into May. And fears and apprehensions, 1,000 of them. 4 of them are in the 2 rooms right here. We were on a call earlier, and I angled the camera down. I literally had a child attached to my ankle as I was dragging them through the house. And so it is consistently told to me and repeated with me, just with Amber and Courtney and now Emily, is that you just come into this imperfect, and that has really settled me in a lot of ways. Is that I can show up with a child around my ankle and a couple floating around with a puppy, and that's been absolutely wonderful. It's settled a lot of those fears and apprehensions, but I have had so many of them. I did have so many of them, especially when Courtney first messaged me.
Well, I love that you just jumped in anyway, with 4 children all around you. What was I going to ask on this? What was the turning point? What do you think caused you to say, yes, I'm doing this? What is there something that choices you wanted to create in life? A goal that you had from the start?
Yeah, so actually I work for a private practice, and I have since I came off of maternity leave with the babies, and I was beginning to feel like I was really at a turning point of wanting to start my own business. And so in launching my own business, Arbonne just fit like a glove in terms of where I was in this season of life, taking care of myself, taking care of my clients, holistically caring for people. And again, I think it really was just Courtney and just the nature of her as she would talk with me. It's like, oh, it was really nice. So I think it was the season, the time that I was in, and then also just the contacts from Courtney.
Wow, that is awesome. We're so glad that you said yes, and we all look forward to getting to know you. And I am sure we're going to be watching you do one promotion after another in this. But you're right that it's progress, not perfection. I always want, when you said I don't have to, it doesn't have to all be perfect. It doesn't. None of us, ever get to do this 100% all in, nothing to do every single day, but Arbonne, it just doesn't happen. So I'm glad that you didn't let these 4 reasons make you say you were too busy to do it. So it's perfect.
Thank you.
Oh, you're awesome. Thank you for sharing with us. And I am going to now get your sponsor to unmute, your sponsor and good friend. And Courtney, we are so excited to hear from you. So unmute, and I am just going to ask you a few questions here. I had the privilege of being on the Zoom call the other night when Courtney was refreshing her phone when every few seconds to see if Arbonne would update that last order. And I asked you then to share with everyone that was on the call in the Fry region, soon to be nation, what was it at Empower Live that caused that shift in you? Can you, and I know you may have shared a little bit of this on the July call, but it's so important that don't worry if you're repeating yourself.
So I watched Empower Live last year from home. I was in the bed on the couch, and I mean, even then, just watching on my computer, I was dancing around, I was clapping, I was hollering. Frankie said I was acting insane, but but I just highly recommend going in person if you're able, because it's just an experience like no other. I met so many amazing people from all over the world, just being around all the positivity and hearing the successful testimonies. And I mean, they all had a testimony. So, which made me realize, like, at first I felt like I was looking at celebrities. I was like, wow, they're way up there. But then, like, hearing them talk, I realized that they're just like me. Like, they all started in the same spot with 0 clients, 0 business builders. And it just made me realize that, if they can do it, I can do it too. So
I love that.
that's actually where I made the decision. I was going area in the middle of the month.
It was towards the end of the month. It was like July, June 22nd. And that was huge because like most of the month was behind us. You had 8 days left. That was amazing. Well, I said earlier that the main reason for setting a goal is who you become in the process. What it makes of you is of even greater value. Now, obviously, there is great value in promoting to area, as the monthly income can range between $1,000 and $3,500 at this level. So that there's some value in there for sure. But how has this had the other kind of value, the one that is, caused you to grow or change in some way? Can you even describe like what setting that goal has done inside of you?
How I've grown, I would say, I've just regained my focus and direction back. Hearing those testimonies, I'm a goal getter. When I set a goal, I feel like I don't have an option. I have to achieve that goal. So it helped me regain my focus. And I knew that instead of just saying I'm going to do it, like, I had to prioritize my actions to get it done. And so that it really helped me do that, and grow those and learn those priorities. And then I would say overcoming my fears and resistance, which kind of pretty much goes hand in hand with prioritizing actions, because like I had a fear. I'm just going to be real. I had a fear of, like, I was bugging people if I kept contacting them. But, I know that if you don't ask, the answer is always going to be no. So, and I've also learned that some people have to have multiple exposures. Not everybody's going to be like me and want to be all in for it from the very beginning. And the going area this past month actually made me realize that, because I actually had 3 or 4 people that I had followed up with a few times. They had been in multiple of my events and I never got a response. And then this month, they actually ended up reaching out to me and wanting more information on the 30 days. And two of them did the full 30 days. And then another, I believe it was a healthy habits. And so I know that they have to have the multiple exposures, which has made me grow and overcoming my fears of that.
I love that. I love that. My last question to you is just going to be, what was your initial goal? What did you see for yourself in Arbonne when you began? And has that grown? Is your vision for where you're going with this grown?
Yes.
I know the answer to these questions.
Yeah. So most of you know, I was a travel nurse. And I mean, I'm still a nurse and I'm a nursing instructor, but I was taken out of work. So, and my purpose here is to care for people. Like, that's just what I do. I've done it since I was young. That's what I like to do. And so that was taken from me along with my income. I was not making any money for over a year in nursing. So, of course, my initial vision was to make a little extra money, and this was my way of helping some people. And now, just promoting to the second level, and after going to Empower Live, I now have like a way bigger goal. I want to help thousands of people, and with the products and with the business, I want people to experience the same business opportunity.
I love that. And I know you're going to go all the way following Amber to the top in Arbonne. And it's just an honor to know you and have you as my friend and just get to share your journey with you. So thank you for all you shared with us tonight.
And can I just say one more thing?
You may.
I just want to thank my team. Elizabeth, promoted to district. Emily, everybody's hit the ground running. Emily is in strong qualification for district. Frankie, Maria are both in qualification for district. And I could not have done it without you. Because, I mean, going area is not the work of one, it's the work of a team.
100%. And that I can't even add to that. That is absolutely the truth. And they are so grateful, I know, to have you as their leader, just as you are grateful to have your team here. And I'm excited to see where all of you go. Thanks, Courtney. And I'm going to wrap up here with just a little bit that Cecilia shared on her VP call on Monday. She does a weekly call. I absolutely love these. So I am taking this from my notes that I took from her. She talked about how there are 3 laws of sowing and reaping. Number 1 is we reap what we sow. What I'm sowing in my business and the words I speak about my business, the company, our products, my sidelines, I'm sowing. And what I do with this opportunity and what I do with my time, I am going to reap what I sow. So if we're not happy with what we've sown, know that this can all be changed anytime. You've probably heard that saying, the best time to plant a tree was yesterday, but the second best time is when? It's today, it's right now. So all of that can change and you can begin to sow what you want to reap. Okay, number 2 is we reap more than we sow. This one was interesting because the explanation is what we sow gets multiplied in this business. Good habits multiply, bad habits multiply. Discipline multiplies, lack of discipline multiplies. Those daily little steps create momentum, that multiplies. So basically, I could list all kinds of things. It's whatever I'm doing or not doing is going to multiply. And third, we reap later than we sow. Courtney just gave an example of this, but you're working your business 30, 60, 90 days ahead. Not everything comes to fruition right there. And sometimes it takes years. Elizabeth was introduced to Arbonne many years ago. And so, and here we are today. So where do you want to be 3, 5 years from now? And begin to put yourself in that position by reaching the next level or earning your bonus for the next level, whatever it might be, so that you are moving towards the choices you want to create. Again, always, keeping it about helping others. Also on Cecilia's Zoom, I think that was the end of that one. Yes. So we reap later than we sow was number 3. On that Zoom call Monday, and it's the last thing I'll say, Cecilia had several of the NVPs who were with her on the MVP challenge trip to South Africa, which now I have a huge goal, like never before, to earn one of these MVP challenge trips. And I hope they do South Africa again, because I really want to do this one. But Tracy Dyer, if you know which one that is, talked about how the people that she saw there were more joyful and grateful than they are in America, and they have so much less. That was just one of her impressions of that. And on the heels of that, Cecilia talked about looking out the window of the buses and seeing the Native women walking with the baskets on their head, carrying heavy loads of, vegetables and, whatever they had from market that they were bringing back home to their families. And she said, I know that those women don't wake up and think, I don't feel like getting my work done today. I've got just a lot of stuff going on right now. Life happening. I can't focus on this. I need some self-care. These women are not doing this. They are waking up and they are doing their work. And you know what? They're grateful. They are grateful to be doing that. And she said in one of the hotels they stayed in, the employees lived so far away, like 5 and 6 hours, that they lived in some quarters near the hotel for 3 straight weeks and went home to their families 1 week of every month. And they were grateful and they were joyful. And so just putting together this, there was so much more from some of the others who shared, like Miranda Burcham and others who went into villages with tons of money to give away and just shopped at all their vendors. I mean, I want to go do that. And, they could see that they were supporting like 15 families by what they made a goal not to come home with $1, left, and just, bought everything these people were selling. But, it really puts things in perspective when you get a glimpse of another culture like that and think that we say Arbonne's hard and not really feeling it to go out and, ask for a referral or ask someone to try samples or take a look at this amazing business. So on that note, I'm going to close with that simple quote I said earlier from Jim Rohn. Do whatever you have. I'll get it right. Do whatever you have to do as quickly as you can, so you can do whatever you want to do for as long as you can. All right, I'm going to stop the recording. Thank you again, Elizabeth and Courtney, for all that you shared. You both inspired us tonight. Let me turn off the recording. Where's the recording? It's not showing me the recording unless I end the call. All right.